Hey, Mark Heller and Kyle Odegard back with you. Week 9 of the football season. And oddly enough, there's a couple of big Mesa matchups. And I say oddly enough because usually it's, the Red Mountain and Mountain View. This year, and this week in fact, Skyline and Mesa tussle. And this one matters a whole lot for both teams, which is a credit to both teams actually. Mesa 3-5, but they're number 18 in the power points because of their strength of schedule. Skyline 5-3, coming off a very weird, crazy, raucous, emotional loss last week against Desert Mountain. A game and Skyline is now number 16 at Division One. A game which had they won, certainly would have cemented them probably into the playoff picture. As it stands now, both teams are on the bubble, and if you look at the way they each play the game, and the way it went last year, 27-24 win for Skyline, which went down to the wire. There's not much reason to think, I don't think that the same scenario is going to unfold.
Yeah, I think this one's definitely going to be really close. And Francisco Avidia last week ran for, I think, 330 yards and 6 touchdowns for Skyline. And Terrell Pete's Noble for Mesa has been one of the better running backs all year. He doesn't get a bunch of attention because he's with Mesa, but he's a really good running back. I think Mesa's defense is a little bit better than Skyline's, but Skyline's offense might be a little bit more explosive. So it's definitely a good test. And, their power rankings, like you said, they're right on the bubble. I think this game will be close. The winner, I don't think they're totally in yet. I think they'll either need to win the last game or they'll need to wait and kind of sweat it out and see how it ends up.
Right.
But I think the loser will be in a tough spot to get in. So it's obviously a huge game for both. Just getting into the playoffs would be a great kind of move forward for either program. Skyline especially, it seems like they're kind of building something nice. And if Skyline can get in and they're right on that bubble, that'd be perfect for them, especially after last week. They played so well against Desert Mountain but came away with a 1-point loss. But I think Mesa with their defense, they've hung around against Desert Ridge and Mountain View and Highland, and they've kind of been that team that people can't really shake until the very end. So I think Mesa is just a little bit better just defensively, and I think Mesa's going to win. I think it'll be really close. I'll say 17-14 Mesa.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm actually going to go a similar score. I think Skyline is actually going to pull it out, probably somewhere in the 21-17 range, 20-17, something like that. I'll say 21-17, but it's very. You're right about Mesa's defense, which doesn't get a lot of attention either. And I will say the other advantage for Mesa is definitely the kicking game and special teams.
Yeah.
In fact, they're definitely, especially the kicking game with No Perellis is definitely one of the best. Has been one of the best kickers in the state. And this is the kind of game that might actually come down to that. I do like Skyline's balance just a little bit more. I think it will be tough against that Mesa defense. But I always get a little bit concerned with a team that's strictly one-dimensional offensively, which Mesa is. And it's worked pretty well, like you said, with Terrell P.S. Noble. It's worked quite well for him. But I do think Skyline ekes this out. But you're right, what a great story for either of them. And I do think if Skyline wins, I do think they'll stay in. We'll just have to wait and see. But if Mesa loses, I'm not sure, because they got a tough matchup in Week 10.
Yeah.
So this is absolutely a must-win for Mesa.